Good morning, everybody. My name's Alison, and I'm a business-to-business marketeer. It feels a bit like that sometimes, doesn't it? That we huddle in support groups, hiding a secret that somehow we are Cinderella, never invited to those glitzy parties. When I first started in marketing quite a number of years ago at IBM, it was all about thought leadership, which was mostly lengthy white papers, and events, which were mostly proprietary. Both of those were actually about sharing information, demonstrating our technical wizardry and superiority. There were few other ways for people to get that information though, and so those types of tactics had an important role to play even early in the sales cycle. And famously, back then, no one ever got fired for buying IBM. Of course, the world around us has changed. The pace of technological change has accelerated. Our brand was nearly a casualty of complacency, and the competitive landscape has exploded. Today, as one of the world's top B2B brands, our brand is one of our most valuable assets. In researching this presentation, I was looking back over our 100-year history and the history of the brand, and actually there's very little evidence that we've actively tried to manage it. Instead, what we have focused on is trying to manage our culture. IBM has never been a brand that's been defined by what we sell at any given time. Meat slicers, typewriters, punch cards, mainframe computers, smartphones, microprocessors, PCs, analytics cloud, all will have their day, at which point you have to go to a lot of trouble and expense to retrain the market what it is that you stand for. So if we're not defined by what we sell, what does define us? At IBM, it's our corporate character, our belief system, our purpose, our mission, what makes us, us. And we have learned that if you tend to that, the brand looks after itself. We were inspired by Abraham Lincoln, who once said, "Character is like a tree, and reputation like a shadow. The shadow is what we think of it. The tree is the real thing." So once we have that sense of what makes us, us, it becomes really clarifying. IBMers have always been guided by that enduring purpose, which is the impact we aim to have on our clients, the world, on each other. It's what we aspire to every day, to innovate, to apply technology to make the world work better. This clarity of purpose compels us to keep changing whilst maintaining things that must never change and must endure, maintaining fidelity with the company that we wish to be. And so it strikes me that that same parallel is true whilst our profession transforms and we're thinking about how business-to-business marketing must change. There are things that must change, and there are things that must stay the same. For example, as CMOs, we've always been responsible for managing the brand and protecting the brand. But in this era of radical transparency, we now have the ability to listen to what people are saying. The question is, are we capturing all that data and capturing it in a way that becomes actionable so we can actually do something about it and respond? Truly strong brands are authentic. They're unique, they're distinct, and they behave in ways that are authentic to their identity. Today, we all know it's our customers that control our brands, as much as we'd like to think otherwise. Meaning that our customers control what the brand represents, what the brand stands for, and they can share their experiences with our product and our service quickly and widely, and they do. Authentically strong brands have more confidence in allowing customers, employees, and partners to take an active role in creating it. Think about Apple or Starbucks or Coca-Cola, how they invite customers to play with their brand. In IBM's case, marketing now spends more time on the inside of the corporation, on defining what we believe and what we stand for, our values, our purpose, our culture, as much, if not more than, managing the brand on the outside. Our employees are our brand and therefore define our customer experience. So our marketing mission stays the same. How we get there is different. Let's think about demand generation for a moment. Great marketing and communications is about causing people to act and causing people to act on what they actually believe. Being able to influence that requires knowing your customer, really knowing your customer. Again, as CMOs, we've always been responsible for knowing about the customer at a macro level, as a market segment. So what's changed? Data allows us to shift from knowing segments to knowing individuals. And rather than imposing a segmentation model on our population, people are implicitly and explicitly declaring their segmentation to us. Our customers expect us to engage with them with knowledge that's personalised, relevant, and increasingly anticipatory. Understanding in real time how clients are engaging us and how they are using our products and our services, not their stated preferences alone, but their actual behaviour, is changing IBM marketing, it's changing our product development, it's changing our pricing and more. In a B2B world, the people who decide to purchase, the people who guide the buying cycle, and the people who actually use your product and service are typically different people. And it's important, therefore, that we understand them all as individuals and tailor our messages accordingly. The essence of what we do stays the same. How we do it changes. We know that 70% of any purchase decision is made now through self-directed, mostly digital research before any vendor is contacted. And actually, we've discovered that more than 90% of all of our transactions include some form of digital engagement. That does not mean more untargeted email marketing. We've learned that identifying targets and sending focused messages will reduce wasteful touches and improve results. Recent analysis on some of our own campaigns showed that better targeting can reduce touches and still increase responses. One pilot campaign last year saw a 20-fold increase in response rates and a 9-fold increase in validated lead revenue. We also need to continue our focus to shift on inbound marketing. Contacts that we acquire through inbound channels, like working with partners like LinkedIn and others, are 10 times more likely to respond than those targeted by outbound tactics alone. And so our teams are now placing stronger focus on inbound pull tactics to build our base and applying analytic targeting to deliver better marketing results and ultimately a better brand experience for our customers. So what about that elephant in the room? Are demand generation and brand building fundamentally different activities? I would argue not, and less so today. Actually, I would say there's a deepening symbiosis between the two. As CMOs, we've always been responsible for defining what to market and how to market it. Now, we have the ability to create a true system of engagement, one that creates value at every single touch. Based on individual customer insights, we can design the full customer journey with the right offers, the right content, the right communications, and ultimately, carefully tailored customer experiences. And the insights we can generate will in turn define a much broader set of experiences the customer has with our companies. And of course, data is the most effective way to understand and engage customers. To state the obvious, though, that cannot be done manually. If you want to do this at scale with personally relevant and rewarding experiences, we must be able to build systems enriched with data and probably informed with a little bit of behavioural science. To do this well, though, new skills are required, and we're placing new requirements on our professionals. Our professionals now need to be skilled in collaboration, but also in empathy, with intellectual curiosity, adaptability, to be able to apply 360-degree thinking. And so as we try to apply data as a game changer, that critical thinking is becoming increasingly important. We now need teams with strong core marketing skills bases, updated with a dash of data analytics, some behavioural economics, and probably a sprinkling of art and design, what my American colleagues would call liberal arts. What we do stays the same. How we do it changes. It's for this reason, about 18 months ago, we started an experiment with something we called IBM Studios. And we struck a collaboration with our CIO and also with some agency partners and built a lab full of multidisciplinary teams with different kinds of skill sets and experiences who now work together, and we have them sitting around the same table in the same room. These teams have been trained in the agile method of development. That's agile with a capital A, a prescribed way of working using digital techniques that we've borrowed from our software development teams. They are there to rapidly create digital media and explore new engagement methods. And what they do is they build typically apps, put them out into the world and see how people react and rapidly iterate to improve that reaction and that engagement. So these teams are creating apps, they're creating digital campaigns for our use globally. And we're now building out a network of these labs around the world. Our London studio opened on the South Bank formally just a few weeks ago. And that's in collaboration with our digital agency, IBM Interactive Experience. And we're also thinking about how we can extend the principles and their methods more widely into how we do marketing. For example, last year was IBM's 25th year sponsoring the Wimbledon Tennis Championships. As the technology partner to the All England Lawn Tennis Club, IBM wanted to support the club's ambition to extend the physical visitor experience across all digital channels. Only about 500,000 people get the privilege to go to Wimbledon during the championships, and more than 20 million enjoy that on TV, and even more engage internationally online. So to help them achieve their ambition, we put together a small group of marketeers, of sales staff and agency staff in a single cross-disciplinary team we called the Punnet, excuse the pun, and some of the team are in the room today. And that team, the Punnet, were there to create visitor personas, map customer journeys, and support that journey end-to-end with 3 clear objectives. We wanted to win fans, to impress the market, and drive revenue. By using those agile methods to design and plan digital engagements, the Punnet delivered nearly 14,000 social mentions, over 44 million impressions, and we even drove the balance of the conversation to be 71% of external mentions. The quality of our press coverage increased, including broadcast and national press coverage. We even created 2 Wimbledon in a Box modules, which travelled up and down the country over 1,500 miles, sharing the experience at 44 client locations and IBM locations as well. The results exceeded our expectations and the average for any IBM content previously developed on key platforms like Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Our content was developed with behavioural economics in mind. In one example, we saw a 6-fold increase in seller engagement at an event briefing simply by changing the way we wrote the invitation. Our advertising campaign delivered over 250,000 engagements with online content, 2.5 times higher than the benchmark that we'd set. And so this interest also tracked through to hard business results. And it did so efficiently, with a return on investment of 17-1. Brand building and demand generation in one, using new approaches and new methods. What we do must endure. How we do it will continue to change. At its heart, IBM is an innovation company. We know technology, and we know how it can reimagine businesses, and we was having a conversation about how it's reimagining our profession as well. The only way for our brand to remain strong and relevant is to stay at the forefront of one of the fastest changing industries in the world. The biggest bet we're making on our brand now is transforming our company to embrace the new realities of data, cloud computing, mobile, and social technology. And this transforms the IBM brand experience in quite profound ways. For example, big data makes innovations like Watson possible. Watson's the world's first cognitive computing system. It ingests massive amounts of data in all forms. It's not programmed, you train it, it learns. Watson generates hypotheses and makes considered recommendations. It's already at work in healthcare, financial services, and even in retail. And Watson is about as close to a personification of the IBM brand as anything we've ever created. We would say Watson's an IBMer. Similarly, the shift to cloud is converting IT and business into a digital service that allows both business professionals and practitioners to use them directly. This is challenging the conventional norms of what it means to be a B2B or a consumer company. Cloud is transforming IBM into a business-to-person brand. And increasingly, we will deliver IBM's innovations and expertise as digital services. And so from a marketing perspective, we're still learning what that means. For me, our brand building and our demand generation activities are now part of the same system of engagement, or the same ecosystem, which increasingly includes our clients, our partners, and our employees. What we do stays the same. How we do it changes. If there is an elephant in the room at Cinderella's party, I think it's one that's learning to dance. Thank you.